All right. Thank you very much. I think it's a good time to probably get started. We are already at 33 right now, Manas. So I'm just going to kick off the proceedings here. So hello everyone. For everybody who just joined, my name is Preyash. I'm the co-founder of LilacBuds. LilacBuds is a premium admissions consulting company, and today we are very proud to have Amit from the ISB team, who's the admissions director at ISB, and he's going to be talking to us today about the latest program from ISB, which is the PGP-YL program, the Young Leaders program. That's for students with anywhere between 0 to 20 months of experience, looking to get their hands dirty with all the basics about management and working with one of India's finest institutions in terms of a freshers MBA. Along with that, I have Manas from Team LilacBuds. He heads our admissions practice for Indian B schools, specifically ISB and IIMs. And he brings tremendous experience, has been an ISB alum himself, and has worked with students to help them make sure that they get into some of these top programs that are offered within India. So together, the two of them are on your screen. I welcome both of them for this amazing session that we are looking forward to. And the order of session today will be Amit introducing the program in a brief, for a brief amount of time, and then Manas kind of kick-starting with a few of the questions that are commonly being asked to all of Team LilacBuds, and then opening the floor up for all of you to ask your own questions. There is no question that you can feel like scared or worried about asking. Amit and Manas together will try to answer each and every question. It's a new program. We understand there are a lot of things that you have on your mind. Should time not permit at the end, we will still be taking questions. We'll still be hosting one-on-one sessions with all of you to make sure all these questions get answered over due course. All right. So stick on. And with that, over to you, Manas, first to kind of kick off things here.
Thanks a lot, Prayas. Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to this program. I'm sure this will be very insightful and very helpful for you. We have been receiving a lot of queries from a lot of candidates who wish, lots of young professionals and students who are studying in their third or fourth year of their bachelor's programs that ISB, of course, being the number one B school in India, lots of um, people that are looking for a great academic journey and upskilling their career, they look at ISB. But of course, uh, earlier you had to wait for 2 years before joining ISB, right? So this time that the new program has been introduced there, where you can join ISB either directly after your bachelor's or with less than 2 years of experience. I think this has generated a lot of interest among a lot of people, and that's why we thought that we'll ask Amit to be a part of this webinar and shed some light on the program. And I would like to thank Amit for agreeing to be a part of this. Before getting started, I would like to introduce LilacBuds, which Presh already, but I'll also probably go through it briefly. So we are a premium admissions consulting firm. We have helped hundreds of applicants every year, in their admissions into top Indian MBA programs, MBA programs abroad, and MIM programs abroad also. And as an ISB alum myself and a merit list scholar at ISB, I now had the Indian B Schools program at LilacBuds. And I would also like to announce a special offer to all the attendees that attend this program, is that at the end of this session, you will receive a WhatsApp message from our team, and you would be able to speak to a counselor for your application support, and you will receive a limited time 25% scholarship for signing up with us for our comprehensive MBA consultation package. But keep in mind that this is valid till October 31st. It's a Diwali offer and a new program offer that ISB has started. So yeah, I look forward to working with some of you to help you achieve your dreams of getting into ISB. And with that, I would like to formally introduce Amit, who is the Associate Director of Admissions and Financial Aid, and also Head of PGP Education at ISB. And with that, I will probably hand it over to Amit to give us an introduction on the program, and of course about ISB, you probably know. But yeah, over to you, Amit.
Thank you, Manas. It's great to be here interacting with students and getting their queries and doubts resolved on the program. We did a similar session for the PGP, and I'm now glad to also interact with the students to talk about the PGP-YL program. So briefly about ISB, I'm sure everybody here is aware of about ISB, but let me talk briefly about ISB. ISB was started in the year 2001, and when we were starting out, we did not want to reinvent the wheel, but bring in the world's best in terms of management education, in terms of curriculum, the processes, the faculty, the research practices, right here to the heart of India. And that's when we partnered with Kellogg and Wharton as a founding associate B schools. And they helped us build the institute in the initial years, share their curriculum, their processes, their faculty, and so much so that within a very short span of 3 to 4 years, we recognized as among the best B schools, not just in India, but also in larger Asia Pacific. And that's when we, also started building a research practice for any B school or any educational institution. I must say is, it's not just a knowledge disseminator, but also a knowledge creator. And research plays a very important role in terms of the kind of education that you provide to your students. And at ISB, we've always been very particular about, having a research-backed curriculum for our students. And with that in mind, we set up a partnership with the London Business School and the Fletcher School at the Tufts University, which and all the 4 founding schools, along with other collaborations with 55 other B schools, have ensured that we have also built up a very strong research practice, and we are now a globally recognized research-based B school in the world. And if you look at the various rankings, they also, acknowledge our growth over the last 2.5 decades now. We are ranked #1 in the country now for a PGP program as per the FT Global MBA Rankings 2024. And we've been ranked so for a number of years now. We are ranked 31 in the world globally. We are ranked, 52 in the world for research. And more importantly, we are ranked #1 in the world for the salary growth of our cohort. That is, the incoming salary of the cohort versus the outgoing salary of the cohort for the PGP class it was 229%, which ranks as #1 in the world in this particular parameter. So the whole idea has been to bring in the world's best practices, teach a global curriculum with the Indian context to our students right here in the heart of India. Now, with that in mind, we have now come up with a new program called PGP in Management for Young Leaders, or the PGP-YL. This is for people who have less than 24 months of work experience. And this is a 20-month program which is designed for people who want to have an accelerated career right at the onset after the graduation, after the initial years of the graduation. The key features of this program are, to ensure that people are able to hack conventional thinking or move out from conventional models of thinking and learn various models for thinking. And this we achieve by a lot of curriculum, integrating a curriculum with tech, data, and artificial intelligence tools. So this ensures that as managers of future, or if managers who are going to go to the workforce in the next 2-3 years, we will not just be dealing with problems of business or finance or marketing or core business domains, but tech, data, and AI are now going to be part of almost every aspect of the business world. And that is one thing which we have integrated in all aspects of our curriculum going forward for the PGP-YL, and of course even for the other programs that we are offering. But that these 3 will be important elements of the curriculum at the PGP Young Leaders program. Another, yeah, I'm sorry. So
Guys,
another
I
aspect.
would probably request everyone to keep themselves on mute. Sorry, Amit, please go ahead.
So the curriculum of this particular program will be taught by globally renowned faculty members, who are drawn from various B schools and universities worldwide. So we have a pool of 70+ teaching and research faculty members across our 2 campuses. But we also have a pool of 200+ visiting faculty members from top 12 B schools worldwide who come to ISB for a term and teach a complete course. This ensures that you get to learn from the world's best faculty members right here in the heart of India. And this program will have peers from diverse backgrounds who will challenge you to excel in terms of, various activities that you're part of, be it in the classroom learning or be it outside of classrooms. Another important aspect or advantage of this program is in terms of accelerating your career. So we're very clear about, the target audience for this particular program. People who want to accelerate their careers, who are sure of what they want to go into business or management field, and who want to accelerate their career right after the graduation and not wait for a couple of years to go into the management side of things. So this acceleration will be achieved through the robust support that our career placement services team will provide in terms of the opportunities, in terms of preparing you for those opportunities, in terms of lifelong learning activities that will be part of this particular program. And as part of this program, you'll have access to the ISB Esteem Global Alumni Network, which is now almost 16,000 strong, and which is spread across 60 plus countries and 400 cities worldwide. This gives you access to mentorship and access to industries around the world. The third advantage of this particular program is in terms of becoming a next generation leader. And how do we ensure that? Experiential learning is a very important component of this program, and we have designed this program keeping in mind that people are going to come in right after their graduations or with less than 2 years of work experience. So we'll have a lot of experiential learning components in this program. I'll touch upon them shortly. But apart from the experiential learning components, we'll also have a vibrant student life where you'll be learning through leadership roles and team-based activities that you'll be part of on campus through various clubs, activities, and other aspects. Now, talking about curriculum, the curriculum of this particular program is designed for across 3 key themes. The first theme is maximize cross-functional learning. In this particular theme, the first step is to build analytical foundations of the student of the cohort. And how do we do that? Where in this you'll be learning courses, in terms of economics, in terms of psychology, in terms of accounting, stats, and so on and so forth, to better define problems and ask the right questions. So that's the idea of this particular set of courses, which will be part of the first year of your ISB journey. And then you'll also be gaining functional expertise to know an organization as a complete entity, rather than just learning about marketing or finance or accounting or other aspects. In the first year, you are expected to know a cross-functional learning of an organization, how an organization works. And this will be achieved through the core courses that will be part of in the first year of your program. The another aspect of cross-functional learning is in terms of how to work effectively in organizations. And this will be achieved through various interventions in terms of workshops, in terms of learning the courses designed around communications and so on and so forth, which will be part of, again, your learning in the first few semesters itself. The second year comprises primarily of career pathways that you're going to choose for yourself. You want, after learning about how organization functions, about various aspects of an organization, you may understand where your strengths and interests lies, and you might want to choose a particular career pathway for you. Maybe it could be in finance, it could be in consulting, it could be in marketing, it could be in maybe HR, and so on and so forth. And this will be this career pathways you can choose to the various electives that will be offering to our students in the second year, from second year onwards. And depending upon the kind of electives that you choose or kind of career pathways that you determine for yourselves, you will be having opportunities in the campus placements and beyond to build your careers going forward. So this is about cross-functional learning, or maybe majorly learning in the classrooms for the program. But apart from classroom learning, we also supplement learning, or the second theme of the curriculum of this particular program is learning in action, or business in action. Since, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of or most of the people in this program are going to be either freshers or with less than 2 years of work experience. So it's imperative that you understand the functioning of an organization and have experiential hands-on learning. So how do you provide that? So there are 2 labs designed as part of the curriculum. First lab is in the first year. Second lab is in the second year. In the first lab, you will be learning about, or what we call the ideas lab, which is known as innovation through design, exploration, and actionable solutions. You will be having immersive hands-on program designed to learn unique experiences from a workplace, and you will be taking live projects under this particular lab to understand how an organization actually functions and get hands-on learning there. Apart from the lab in the first year, between the first year and second year, you will have a mandatory summer internship where you will be working with organizations for 2 or 2.5 months, depending upon your organization that you work in the internships for. And internships will be sourced through the ISB placement process. There'll be a proper placement process for internships where you will be sitting for interviews, making CVs, undergoing applying to organizations, and will be selected for internships which you complete. And these internships are also expected to land you PPIs or PPOs even before the final placement season starts. Now, there's a third lab in the second year, which is the people who want to be entrepreneurs eventually or want to start their entrepreneurial journey. This lab is called Pivot, or Platform for Innovation and Venture Oriented Thinking. Under this particular lab, you will be given comprehensive hands-on experience in how to build and launch successful ventures. So you'll be taught about various aspects of business, how to write a business plan, how to go about selecting the right business models, how to secure funding, and so on and so forth, which will ensure that you can start your entrepreneurial journey while still on the campus. And once you get a flavor of entrepreneurship through this particular lab, you can also apply to incubation centers. We have 2 incubation centers at ISB across our 2 campuses, and choose to start your own ventures as well as soon as you graduate from the program after the 20 months. Now, the third aspect of the curriculum is global perspective. And of course, the curriculum itself is designed through various global perspectives of the faculty members teaching, of the research global research that we conduct in our research centers, and so on and so forth. But we'll also have opportunities for students to engage in study treks. We'll have opportunities for students to have student exchanges across 55 plus B schools and universities worldwide that we have collaborations with. And even if you choose not to go for foreign exchange programs, we'll have inbound students from those universities who will be part of the campus life for 1 to 2 terms, and you get exposure to different ways of thinking, global thinking, right in the classrooms and in the campus life. So this, in short, was the ISB curriculum for PGP-YL. I'll now talk about how do you get into the program, what are the various aspects of application process. So people, as I mentioned already, then to apply for this program, you need to have less than 24 months of work experience. But the 24 months of work experience should cutoff date is 15th of June 2025 if you want to join the cohort in July. The cohort starts in July and goes on. The first year goes on till March. You have an internship from April, May, and again we start in June and end by March. So that's the program structure. And you should have less than 24 months of work experience as on 15th of June 2025 to join the cohort in July 2025. That's the first eligibility criteria. Second is you should have completed your undergrad degree before you join the program. That is 15th of June is the cutoff date for completion your undergrad degree. And here, when I say completion, your last exam should have been completed before that date. Even if your convocation is pending, or even if you have not got your degree, that's perfectly fine. But your last exam should have been done by 15th of June 2025. How to apply? The application portal is currently live on our website. You can look up the application portal. We'll capture your academic details. We'll capture your test scores. You have to write 3 essays. So I'll urge you all to go to the portal, look at the topics of the essays, spend some time preparing for your essays. We'll need 1 letter of recommendation, and it can be an academic letter as well, or from somebody where you have done an internship. And this is what will be, and of course you'll have to mention your other details, activities, internships, if any, and so on and so forth, which will be part of your application process. Now, how do we select people? We select people basis a holistic profile-based evaluation process, wherein we look at a lot of things. We look at achievement orientation. Now, what is achievement orientation? It could be consistent performance in your academics. It could be consistent performance in any curricular activities. You could have achieved something in sports at the national level. You could have achieved something in maybe research. You could have patents. You could have research publications in reputed journals. You could have won competitions. You could have achieve something in a personal space, something in terms of in the areas of music, theater, and so on and so forth. We are looking at innovators, people who have thought, who have designed something or built something. So entrepreneurs who have worked in the organization, who have built something in during their undergrad or immediately beyond, and as people who can show innovation. So that's all those things really part of the selection process. There'll be a holistic profile score through which we'll shortlist you, call you for the interview. The interview will be conducted by a panel of recruiters, industry experts, ISB board members, and faculty, and then basis which the interview and profile score will be made offers to the program. We are looking at 140 as a baseline number for this particular program for this year, and the program is going to be exclusively offered in the Hyderabad campus for the first year. Reason being, for 140 students, we don't want to split you across the two campuses because you need to have a networking with your peers and batchmates also. And 140 is a small number to split you across the two campuses, but eventually we'll look at also having it across campuses based on a one school to campus philosophy. So that was briefly one thing I missed out, maybe the fee and the scholarship. So the application of the fee for the program is 21,65,000 plus GST. This includes your admission fee, your tuition fee, all your other fees in terms of library fee and so on and so forth. Accommodation fees 3,95,000 apart from this figure, and total figure inclusive of GST, inclusive accommodation and everything else comes to around 29 lakhs 60,000 odd for this particular program for a 2-year duration. Now, are there scholarships? Yes, we expect to offer around 40 to 50% of the batch some sort of a scholarship or other in the founding class and beyond. So there are two main types of scholarships. There is a merit scholarship, basis your performance in the selection process at ISB for this program, and there's a merit cum needs scholarship, which is basis your annual family income and again your performance in the selection process at ISB. So if your annual family income is as an 18 lakhs per annum, you can apply to the, you'll be considered, I would say, for the merit cum needs scholarship as well. And depending upon your merit in the process, you'll be made favors of up to 100% of tuition fee across both the categories. The third scholarship is Develop India Scholarship. This is for people who want to work in the development sector. So in case you take up a job post ISB, graduating from this program, in the government sector or the development sector or the impact sector, as we call it, the NGOs, the governments, or any such sector for the working for the betterment of the country, you will be offered a stipend of up to 30,000 rupees per month in lieu of the salaries that you forego in the corporate sector after graduating from such a reputed preschool and such a strong program. So that was in short, in brief about the program. The deadline to apply for round 1 is 15th of December 2024. The round 2 deadline will be sometime at the end of the March. We'll let you know the exact date by close to round 1 deadline. And you can apply through GMAT, GRE. The test center scores will be accepted. The online scores or at-home scores of this test will not be accepted. And you can also apply through CAT. Only CAT 2024 will be accepted for this program. And in case you don't, of course, you will not have your CAT results with you. So you can apply with the CAT application number. We just require a CAT application number in the portal, and we'll get the scores directly from the CAT body once the results come in. So round 1 deadline is 15th of December. The results should come out for round 1 by March and for round 2 by May. And the classes start in July. Those are the key timelines or key dates for this particular program. So brief, I just wanted to make it brief, but I think now we can take some questions. Over to you, Manas.
Thank you, Amit. That was very detailed. In fact, out of all the questions, queries that we have been receiving, you already, I was like last time, I was planning like 5 or 6 questions right up in the front, and I think you have clarified quite a few of them already. One of which was the validity of the CAT score. Like GMAT and GRE scores are valid for much longer than CAT scores. So yeah, so CAT score is valid for just that year, right? So lots of people had this question that if I'm studying in my final year and if I write my CAT this year, and then if I decide to work for a year and then apply, would I have to reappear in CAT or GMAT, or would that score still be valid?
You'll have to reappear in CAT and GMAT. In that case, what I'll suggest the candidate is, if you have a CAT score in your final year, apply in the final year. And if you get through, then you can request for a deferral. So in exceptional cases, certain cases, we offer a deferral to students, but that's not something I'll advise that you apply to defer. But in case, if that's a case that you cannot join in a particular year, request for deferral. But the admission process will be conducted in the year in which you write the CAT. If you apply for the next year process, you have to write the CAT or the GMAT or GRE. Again, but GMAT GRE is valid for 5 years. So 5 years course will be accepted for GMAT and GRE.
Okay, sure. Thanks. Another question that I've gotten quite a lot is since it's happening in the Hyderabad campus, it will coincide with the PGP cohort as well. In terms of the social activities and clubs, will they share the same clubs or activities, or these two will be completely separate?
No,
Yeah.
the two will be separate. So, like PGP, we have the PGP Graduate Student Board or body where there is the elected reps from the student community for various positions. There's a president, there's a marketing head, there's a student life council. Similarly, for this program, there will be a graduate student board separately, and there'll be roles and responsibilities where the student will be part of. And there'll be a lot of clubs which they'll be part of separately. Maybe they might want to have their own clubs, but of course, being on the campus, there'll be a lot of cross, learning from them. So
Yeah.
we can't say, you don't talk to PGP students, PGP students don't talk to. That's not how it
Yeah, of
is
course.
envisioned. There'll be clubs. You're part of the campus. You're part of the campus life. So you will have opportunities to attend PGP events or be part of those clubs also. But of course, there are going to be specific roles, GSB, and some clubs specific to the PGP-YL as well. And then there will be the wider campus-wise communities which will be PGP is usually part of. Similarly, I can anticipate one more question that people might ask. Will the classes also be common for electives for PGP and
Yeah.
PGP-YL? So the curriculum is designed in such a way that electives and the core courses are totally separate. So there'll be no overlap in terms of core courses for the PGP or
Mm.
PGP-YL. Even in terms of electives will be specific mostly to PGP-YL and PGP. But there'll be some faculty members coming from international locations who are going to offer a course, and there'll be some overlap in terms of both the programs. In that case, you might have some courses common for PGP and PGPYL, but only for the electives which people can choose to be part of.
Got it, got it. So one more very common question that we are getting is that, do we already know what kind of an average GMAT or GRE or code CAT score or percentile that we'll be looking at for this cohort? And also, I think I know the answer to that, this question, but another question we are getting is that, is there any preference to GMAT over GRE or CAT, or preference to CAT over GMAT or GRE?
No preference at all. We'll look at
Yeah,
each test, individually and determine your performance in that particular test. So, the first question was the ranges, right? Since this is the
yeah,
first year for the program, there are no ranges for GMAT or GRE or even for CAT. But one thing I can tell you, ISB selection process historically has been a holistic profile-based selection process and will continue to be so for the PGPYL as well. We're not going to
yeah,
shortlist or reject you based just one parameter. Or we will
yeah,
not say, oh, your CATs are below this, so sorry, we don't consider you further. Or we won't say, oh, GMAT is below this. What we do is we build a profile score basis various parameters and activities that you have, and basis that will shortlist you. So, of course, with what happens is even if your CATs are lower, you will cover up with a higher test score. Even if your test score is
mm,
slightly middling, you will cover up with other parameters very well. So, that thing you will continue here as well. Now, if I have to take a guess at the ranges, I would say for GMAT and GRE, look at the erstwhile YLP ranges, right? So for GMAT, for YLP, we have seen people with 660 also get in. The median was around
mm,
720 between, and high even went to 780. But 660 was the floor for GMAT. For GRE, we around 317 was the floor, and people have got in. People with 322, 325, a lot of people getting through that particular score as well. So I'll say take that as a benchmark for now because we do not
mm,
know the ranges, be it being the first year for the program. For CAT, again, it's a different thing because that's the first time it's for either for PGP or
yeah,
PGPYL. It's first time we're taking CAT, so totally, the ranges are something which it's difficult to predict per se.
yeah,
But having said that, ISB is India's number one B school, so it's going to be competitive. But of course, it's not
yeah.
that CAT score alone is important. I would say at least 93, or with other parameters, very good 90 above is what we should look at for CAT score.
Mm. Got it, got it. Sure. One more question that we have been getting is, like, PGP has a minimum work experience criteria. I think for PGP, while we have a maximum work experience criteria, right? But you mentioned the deferral part, that if you get an admit this year and you can defer it to next year's, right? So in that case, if someone has 1+ years of experience right now, will they be able to defer it to next year,
No,
because
no,
considering they will have 2+? No, right? Okay.
no, they will not do definitely. Only if you're a
Sure.
fresher, to still meet the criteria. So criteria will fix if you want to join a particular cohort, as on 15th of June of that cohort, your work ex should be less than 24 months of work experience.
Got it. Yeah, so one more last question from my end would be, firstly, I think you have already gone over the point of what made you start the PGP-YL program right now. So would you like to talk a little bit about how it's going to be different from the IIM's PGP 2-year PGP program, 24 months programs?
Sure. So the key differences, I would say, I wouldn't compare with the IIMs as such,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
why we have designed this particular program is because we have been speaking to a lot of recruiters, and we've been speaking to a lot of students, as you mentioned, and as you're also aware, a lot of students, are asking why
Yeah.
can't we join ISB with right after college? Why should we wait for
Yeah.
2 years of work experience? And on the other side, a lot of recruiters who come to ISB, they come for a wide range of roles. With the
Hmm.
diversity that we have in the PGP classroom, people with 2 to 22 years of work experience in the class. So companies come from with for roles for entry level roles, for middle management roles, even senior level leadership roles like vice presidents and above, for people with higher years of work experience. So when with recruiters there was a talk, why can't we have freshers, who we can look at for excellent roles in our organizations, who we can groom them in leadership roles right after their undergrad. So there was definitely a kind of a demand and from both the sides, and that's one of the reasons why we looked at this particular program. And how do we distinguish between PGP and PGP-YL? It's very clear.
Yeah.
PGP-YL is for people who are very clear at the onset that they want a managerial career or a business career at the very onset, and they want to accelerate careers. So they don't want to wait
Hmm.
for 2 3 years of work experience, then think and then decide that this is what I want to go to. While PGP is for people who want career transitions and career pivots. So people, who wanted to work in a particular industry, work there for 2 3 years, and now want to transition or pivot their careers or after 4 5 years. That's what PGP program has traditionally been. But YL is
Yeah.
for people who want an excellent career right at the start. So they don't want to wait for 2 years and then take a call. So that's the clear demarcation between two programs.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. I think we can go to the audience questions. We'll go with the people who have raised their hands. Rohit, I think you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. So my question was two questions. One, what is the timeline looking like? Let's say December is the round one. When can we expect the interviews and results and so on?
Yeah. So interviews will only start after the CAT results come out, which come out, sometime around the middle of January. So post that, after that, we need 2 weeks to process your scores and create the shortlist. So interviews will happen in February, on first week of March, and by mid to end March, you should get your results for round one.
Got it. And let's say I am giving GMAT or GRE in the second week of December and I haven't got my official scores. Can I just submit my application and whenever that happens?
Yes, as long as you have taken the test on 15th of December, you can apply in round one. You submit your unofficial scores in the application and send your scores to us through the mb.com or the ATS portal. As long as the scores reaches us in time, or reaches us eventually, you should be fine.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Rohit. Shriram, you can ask your question.
Hello, good evening, sir. Thank you for facilitating the session. Sir, actually, my doubt was I've joined my work experience like on August 1st, 2022, and
Hmm.
I resigned it on August 1st, 2024. So it's
Hmm.
exactly 2 years. Will I be eligible to apply for the PGP-YL, or should I go ahead with applying for the PGP flagship program?
So it's exactly 2 years, not a day more, right?
Sir, it's exactly on August 1st, 2022 and August 1st, 2024.
Okay. Then your 2 years of work experience, uh, you can ideally apply to PGP-YL, but then the break that you have taken down now. that will be questioned that will be a question which you need to answer at a lot of places. First is an interview. I'm sure you might have answers, or there are answers to almost anything which we can have rational answers to. But you will have to answer that at the interview stage. Again, when the recruiters come to the campus, you might they might want to know what you were doing for a period of almost a year in between. So my advice would be to look at PGP, because PGP will be better suited. You can maybe look at after you finish your break to start work again, and then join the PGP program.
Okay, sir. So you would suggest me to go ahead with PGP and instead of PGP-YL, right, sir?
Correct.
Sir,
Yeah,
also is
because
it
by the time, yeah, sorry. By the time the PGPYL program starts, also your gap will be almost 10 months, right? So that will be very difficult to justify.
sir, also can I apply for PGP-YL and PGP both? Is that possible, or like do I have to go ahead and apply for only one itself?
You won't be able to apply to both, because if you consider it 2 years for a while, unless you start working again, then you can apply to PGP, and then you'll be disqualified from one of them by the time you have to join the program.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Teeth, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, sir, am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
Hello, sir. So, currently I'm in my final year and I gave my GMAT on around 29 September. So, I had two questions regarding that. So, first one is there any sectional cutoffs that ISB sees? So, like I've scored 100 percentile in quants, but I feel I was very not low, but a mediocre score in verbal and DI. And the second question is, as you said that the median score was around 660, 700 to 720. So are you referring to the focus edition or was it the older version of GMAT?
It was the older version of GMAT. So it's been some times I have to get used to the new scoring this thing. But 655 odd would be the median, I would say, in the classical edition. Around 665 is what I would suggest to be a median. The first thing is we don't have a cutoff for sectionals. So we look at the overall score.
Okay, sir. Okay. And also, another question which I had is, does ISB also give preference to different professional certifications like CFA or FRM, which a student might have done?
If you've
And
done, that
along
will
with
give you an
that,
edge. Yes,
yeah,
that will give you an edge.
so okay. And what if application I'm pursuing, like I'm giving level 2, I'll be giving my level 2 in May 2025. So I'll be preparing for level 2. So I'm not sure whether in my application should I mention level 1 cleared or applying for level 2.
You can mention that, because that will help you build the narrative as well, right? So if you've already cleared one level and you're applying, pursuing the level 2, and you're pursuing level 1, that is showcasing some intent on your side. And that will be helpful to you in terms of showcasing your narrative and skill sets in the interview and in the application as well.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Teeth. Ankit, please ask your question.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So, firstly, sir, thank you for letting me into this. Sir, first doubt is that if we miss this round one, so the round two is in the January month, right? The
It will
deadline
be
for round
from it will start from the next day of round 1 up to March.
okay, up to March. And the interview, sir?
Interviews will happen in sometime around April and May for first week. And by May,
Okay.
mid, you should get your results.
Sir, main result. So, round one and round two students will be joining together in the program, right?
Yes, together. The program will start in July, in the first week of July. So all of you will join together.
Okay, sir. And the last
This is
doubt,
not
sir,
two
like,
intakes. This is just 2 rounds of applications.
sir, sorry, sir, I didn't get you, sir.
Yeah, these are not 2 intakes. These are 2 rounds of applications. That's
Okay,
it.
okay, that's all. I'm sorry for that. Sir, and the other one is like, for suppose we have been graduated in this year, so we have work experience in months. So, and some people, they have a work experience in around 1 year, so on. So, while during the application process, will there be any weightage kind of thing for more work experience or less work
No,
experience?
no.
No,
There'll be
nothing.
no weightage for work experience. But of course,
Okay.
you can, if you have higher years of work experience, you'll have certain skill sets which will help you in the process.
Okay. Done,
But
sir.
if you have less years of work experience, you can showcase your other skills that can also cover up. But people who come with work ex, let's say somebody's worked for 15 months, 16 months, they'll definitely have certain skill sets which will be useful for them in the overall process in the interview. But as such, there's no distinction or difference between somebody with 0 months or somebody with 24 months
Okay.
in
Perfect.
this evaluation profile score evaluation.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. That's thank you, sir.
Cool. Thank you. Nirmit, please go ahead and ask a question.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Good evening, sir.
good evening.
Yeah,
Good evening.
so I actually graduated in May of 2023, and
Hmm.
I'm continuing. I joined my job as well in May of 2023. So as
Hmm.
of now, I have somewhere around 16 months of experience, and by
Hmm.
December, when I'm planning to apply, it will be 18 months.
Hmm.
But as you said, before June 15, 2025, I should have less than 24 months. So it
Correct.
probably would have crossed 24 months. So what would you advise I do? Like should
If
I
it
have to
cross,
resign?
no, I
Should
will
I
not
just
advise you
resign?
that. That's totally up to you. And you should not resign a job just because you want to join a program or it'll look good on your CV. But the thing is clear in terms of the rule. As on 15th of June, not a day more to join the program. If you have more than 1 day of work experience, you will not be eligible to join the program in the registration. And we have background checks for that. If people theoretically somebody has left a job, is not working for last 2-3 months and has less than 24 months of work experience, it will be fine for to join the program. But I will not advise anybody, just to join the program to game the system and to resign, just before you complete 24 months. That I will not advise. Take a call basis of larger career goals. If not PGPYL, you already always have a chance in PGP also, and that's a well recognized program as well.
Yeah, I attended that session as well, sir. But that's the thing because as on March 2025, I will not have 24 months. So
Yeah.
in
So you
both the
apply
cases,
next
I'm
year.
not able
And
to.
you'll have 1 more years of work experience. Is perfectly fine. You apply next year in that
Right.
case.
But Amit, I think this
Okay.
is quite a legit query, right? Let's say if
I know.
he applies in round 1, he gets the admit, right? So
Hmm.
he knows that he already has the admit, so he can quit before just 1 day before finishing 24 months of
That is
experience.
possible,
And
and that's perfectly fine.
yeah,
Technically, that's perfectly okay. So as I
yeah.
mentioned.
Okay. And sir, one other doubt, is there any difference between the like applications and between round one and round two, like the selection
No,
process,
no,
or
there's
the
no.
criteria and the everything is same, right?
It's same.
Opportunity
It's
for
same.
selection.
Everything is same. There's no difference in round one or round two.
Even for scholarships, right, Amit?
Even for scholarships. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of scholarships
Oh,
on offer to give to candidates across both the rounds. So no need to be concerned about those things.
okay.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Rashi, you can go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So basically, I have a total work ex of 25 months. So my
Hmm.
only query is, does it lead to complete rejection of my application, or does it lead to a negative marking? Like say for
No, no,
IIMs, we
no.
have
You will not be able
mark.
to apply. So there'll be a question. If you go to the portal, you'll find that there's a question: how many years of work do you have currently, and how many years you'll have by so and so date. So you'll not be able to proceed in the application. There is no
Okay, so it's the
rejection. You'll not be able to proceed.
this is
Yeah.
a rigid criteria, right? It should be
Yeah.
exactly 24 months.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Nirmit and Rashi, if you can lower your hand, or maybe I can do it for you actually. Chirag, please go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, sir. Sir, actually, my question was, sir, right now I'm pursuing my internship at Deloitte, and like it's a 6 months internship, and later I'll be converted to FT. So,
Hmm.
so the doubt was, so sir, I was planning to apply in round one. So,
Hmm.
what should my like course of action? Should I mention it in this thing that my
So
work
is the
experience?
internship is it after your undergrad?
Yeah, Yes.
Uh,
Actually,
so,
it was
so
earlier an FTE, but later I was converted to a later our whole batch was converted to training.
no, no, perfectly
And
fine. So I'll give you the criteria of work experience. Anything that you
Mhm.
do after you complete your undergrad, right? If it's full time, if it is a paid activity and it's not clashing with any other full time activity, it will be considered as full time work experience. So in your case, if your internship is after your undergrad, you're getting paid a stipend or some
Yes,
salary,
I'm
whatever it is,
yeah,
and you're working full time there, it is full time work experience. Whether you call it
it is full
whether
time.
you call it internship, whether they call it full time or contract, for us it is full time work experience. So
Okay,
mention it as
it
a
is
full
full
time work
time.
experience. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Chirag. Manan, you can just before Manan, just sorry, before going there,
Uh,
I also wanted to ask one more question, Amit, that we get quite a lot. Is that the PGP degree and the PGP-YL degree in the on the certificate and in terms of consideration, are they going to be both same equivalent MBA degrees, or is there going to be any difference?
They equal MA degrees.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, Manan, please go ahead.
Yeah, so actually, you kind of asked the question that I was going to ask, but my
Okay.
situation right now is that I will complete my 2 years of work ex if I on July 31st, 2025. Right.
Hmm.
So technically, I'm in a way eligible for this also. I can just drop before June 15th if I'm not wrong.
No,
And
no, you're perfectly fine. Yeah, you're perfectly
right.
eligible for that.
Yeah, so then my question comes to like what he actually asked, which is the difference between PGPYL and PGP in terms of I understood like the course wise and why like in terms of the candidate perspective, but I wanted to also know in terms of recruiters perspective or getting the placements and stuff like that, because I have like it's is like maybe fake news or not, but I've always
Hmm.
heard that there is some programs that are MBA equivalent or
Hmm.
diploma programs are not
Hmm.
treated as MBA outside of
Hmm.
India.
Hmm.
So I wanted to get some clarity as to if a person doing PGP and a person doing PGPYL and
Hmm.
they both apply to a firm in their
Hmm.
resume or in terms of their when they're considered for the job, are they looked at
Hmm.
differently because one has YL and one has not no YL like just PGP?
No, no, they're not looked at differently because we have taken our recruiters on board, and that's after extensive discussions with recruiters and this is their demand itself, we have come up with this program. And if you look at our recruiters list, we have all the top recruiters from BCG, McKinsey, Bain, Amazon, Google, Apple, Microsoft, and others, and they are all on board with this, and they have in fact expressed kind of a inclination for such roles as well, where they can groom people right from the word go. And similarly for students who want to accelerate their careers right from the word go. Now coming to the thing about diploma versus degree, or not being able to be considered for jobs because of certifications. So ISB is not recognized by UGC or AICT. So we are not offering a degree, but we have international accreditations. It all boils down to us
Yeah.
being a global B school, recognized by Financial Times, ranked in Financial Times, ranked by Economists, not ranked by other publications, the QS and so on and so forth. Plus, we also have the Triple Crown accreditation, which is the accreditation by ASCSB, Equus, and EMBA, the global accrediting agencies for B schools worldwide. And this ensures that you're recognized as an MBA worldwide wherever you go, right? So we have LMs, 21% of our LMs are working abroad in countries, 60 plus countries from US, UK, Canada, to Europe, to Australia, to Korea, and many Ireland to many other countries. And they're treated at par with MBAs worldwide because we have the Triple Crown accreditations. And similarly, organizations also recruit you as MBAs, not as any other this thing. A lot of our students have gone on to do PhDs abroad as well, right? Where you might find issues is in certain government jobs in India. For example, if you're applying for State Bank of India, uh, probationary officers roles or those kind of roles, then you might have face an issue. But otherwise, nobody comes to a B school like ISB or IIMs or either to go to a state SPO as a pure roles. So practically no difference in terms of because of this particular discrepancy.
Yeah, so I just because this doubt came in first when I got a mail from ISB only actually. I guess you had a
Hmm.
session in Bombay a few days ago.
Hmm.
live session about this program, and I was reading the mail, and in the mail it was written MBA equivalent instead of
Yes.
an MBA. So the question, that's where it arises the doubt that why is it
Yeah.
even called an MBA equivalent and not just an MBA? If it's the
Yeah,
same thing,
because
there's no
it's the
difference.
same thing. Because in India, if you have to award an MBA degree, you have to be recognized by UGC or AICT. So if you look at a lot of IIMs as well, they were also not offering MBA degree. They were offering either PG diploma or PGP course
Yeah.
certificates for a
Yeah,
long
yeah, yeah.
time. Now the
Correct.
thing with UGC and AICT is that they have a lot of rules and regulations which will not suit a independent global B school like ours. Worldwide, B schools are independent, universities are independent. They don't have a UGC equivalent body or in US or UK or others. They have their own decision-making schemes. In India, if you want to hire faculty, you have to go through UGC norms. If you want to offer a curriculum, you have to have the same curriculum for 4 years. So that's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to bring in the global curriculum to India, and that's why we are not part of UGC and IST. It's a conscious call that we have taken.
Okay. So, but in terms of job opportunities abroad, it will be treated
Absolutely not.
as completely an MBA, right?
Yeah.
No
You look
differentiation
at our
between.
alumni network, they are all working
Yeah.
in top organizations in McKinsey, they're partners in US, they're partners in Google, they're working in Apple in top organizations. Absolutely no this thing.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Srisha,
you.
you can go ahead with your question.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you
Yeah.
are.
So I had two questions. One is related to curriculum, and the second is scholarship related. So coming to the first question, curriculum. So like I'm basically from commerce, pure finance background. I do not have any computer language knowledge, computer language. So how will I be treated as like you told that it is integrated and the specializations are related to data science and tech related. So how will I be treated with no computer language?
Yeah. So, I mean, you misunderstood me when I said data science and tech. Data science, tech, AI, and data are integrated into the curriculum. They're not specializations that we're offering in AI or data science or tech. We are giving you
Okay.
basic understanding of how to work with data, tech, and AI. So basically, we'll be studying business and finance, marketing, and so on so forth. But how those data or tech or AI impact those areas is what will be the focus in when I say integrating with tech, data, and AI. Of course, for some of you, we also have courses maybe in Python, courses maybe in R and other such technologies which you can choose to take if you want to. Those will be optional for people to choose to take if you want to get into those kind of a stream. Plus, majorly, it's a business program. The curriculum will be based on business, but with a fair bit of understanding of how these three things impact business in today's world. And in terms of coming from different backgrounds, there will be a lot of people coming from different backgrounds. Some will be engineers, some will be commerce guys like you. And commerce guys, of course, you have been exposed to business subjects, so you'll have a Manas, I'm sure you can relate to. You can share your own insights. You'll be doing very well in those courses at ISB because with some of the other peers, like people who come from the arts background, or people come from the B Pharma background, people come from the armed forces background. So, but what ISB does is you have bridge courses. Once you made offers, you'll be given pre-reads to come and prepare to before you join the class. And another important thing that we have at ISB is the concept of study groups. So we have projects which are done by study groups. The study groups have people which are carefully designed through an algorithm where two people will be from finance, from commerce, two will be engineers, one will be a CA, and so on and so forth. So the courses where uh, commerce people are good, they can teach the engineers. Courses where engineers are good, they can share the workload in those courses. This will help you learn from each other. So that's how we do. So it's not a prerequisite for you to know about tech, data, and AI. You will be exposed to those concepts and how they impact business at the program.
Yeah. You can be from any field whatsoever, and any experience that you have, it's only going to come to your use. It's not going to be a detriment. It's only going to be beneficial for you. In my batch, we had cricketers, actors, dentists, doctors, everything.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Then coming to the second part, like after I complete my PGP-YL,
So what will I be specialized in? Like, what are the main specializations?
So in PGP-YL, rather than specializations, we're looking at career paths. Worldwide, if you look at B schools, even the top ones in India and even abroad, like that, the HSC Paris and inside the world, people are moving away from the concept of specialization, where they will not write specifically on your degree or on a certificate that you're a PGP in management, in strategy or finance, or in marketing and operations, but you can take electives according to your career paths. For example, if you want to go into finance field or if you want to go into marketing field, you take 6 electives in marketing and that will help you become ready for marketing opportunities. And if you take 6 courses in one particular area, you become specialized or kind of, become a master at that particular area. And that will help you crack roles in placements and other this thing in organizations. And you can call yourself that I did my MBA in marketing and strategy, but that will not be explicitly mentioned in your certificate. And we have 10 plus specializations that we have in the PGP curriculum, and similar specializations will be available here. But those are not mentioned on the certificate. We won't call them specializations, but we'll have career paths for you. For example, if you want to become an investment banker, then we'll tell you then take this 5-6 courses, because that is a must for investment bankers. Take valuation, take options and futures and derivatives, because that without that investment that's bread and butter for investment bankers. You want to become marketing in the marketing area, will tell you take sales and distribution management, or will tell you take consumer behavior, because that's what you will need to know if you want to become a marketer. So we'll have career paths for you, and you take those career paths and accordingly you can crack those roles and call yourself once that I did my MBA maybe with a focus on strategy and marketing, or with a focus on economics and finance and so on and so forth. But there'll be no specializations mentioned in the degree. It will be career paths focused.
So it's like the basic thing is like it's depending on our electives that we choose.
Correct.
Yeah.
And what
Okay.
area you want to, and you will choose electives depending on what area you want to eventually work in.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Thank
you
you.
may end up with multiple specializations also.
Yeah.
Which happened to me as well. I was planning on marketing, but because of my electives, I had a dual specialization in marketing and finance. So you might be you can showcase that as your expertise as well.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Then the second question is coming to the scholarship. How is it considered, only the academic or overall like extracurriculars? Is it
Overall,
considered
everything. So
scholarship?
everything. So as I mentioned earlier, the evaluation process is holistic. So that process will itself determine the scholarships. So the higher up you are in the merit process of the merit list, more the chances of scholarship and the quantum of scholarship also.
And for the YL program, what are the main skill sets that you'll be looking for? Like I'm a fresher with zero experience, just out of
Yeah.
college. So there'll be many of my like batchmates or people who have experience of 1 year or something who will be applying. So to stand out
I
comparing
think
with
Srisha,
them.
we can take your questions later. I think there are other people also who are
Okay. Yeah.
waiting on the interest of time and
But
being
I'll
fair to
quickly answer
everyone.
this. So
Yeah,
as
sure.
I answered this in the talk also, we're looking at people who have achievement orientation, some level of achievement either in academics, co-curricular, or any other area of their lives. And looking at people who are lateral thinkers in terms of what your thought processes, in terms of how you approach your, through your essays. That's what we'll gauge. But look at people who are innovators and have built something, or are people who are creative in terms of creating businesses or creating something in their lives. That's what we're looking at. Maybe in the social work or entrepreneurial sector, or in your daily life. Those are the few key things which we are looking at, and you can showcase them through various things. Maybe academics, maybe co-curricular, maybe your social sector work, or social life, personal life, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Thanks, Amit. Vritti, you can go ahead with your question.
Yeah. Hi, sir. So my question is that, is there a split decided with the freshers intake and the experienced intake?
See, there's no experience as such here. No, 0 to 2 years is almost as good as freshers. So if you go to industry now and tell people, the managers and the people working in the organization, who is a fresher, they'll say 0 to 4. I can bet on
Right.
this.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So 0 to 2 years is, all of you are actually freshers. Some of you may have maybe exceeded some skill sets by doing 15 months of work experience that may aid you in the process. But for the purpose of the evaluation, all of you are freshers.
Yeah, okay. Got it. All right. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks. Krishna?
Yeah. Hello, sir. I joined. I joined an internship in May, and I got promoted to full time 2 months later. So when they say the requirement for the YL program is less than 24 months of work experience, my understanding is that 24 months of full time work experience.
No, when did you graduate?
May.
In May, and immediately after graduation you started working, and you are paid for this internship.
Yeah.
Then it will be counted as work experience, Krishna.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I have to apply in December of next year, I could not apply, right?
No. As per your work experience, it will exceed 24 months, no, on by June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Just to reiterate, the definition of work experience for ISB is after graduation, full time and paid. So even if it's a paid internship after graduation, then it will be considered as work experience.
Yeah. So my doubt was internship does not
Yeah.
count as full time experience in other areas.
No, it does.
Okay.
If you're paid,
Yeah.
it's less. And it's
And
after
sir, just
graduation, yeah, it is.
to add to this question, so actually I had this similar question earlier. So do we need to mention it differently that this is internship and this is job? And
No. So you'll be mentioning a designation, right? If you enter your work experience, you need to mention a designation. So you'll mention intern there mostly, right? Or whatever, senior associate, junior associate. That is what you need to mention.
like I'll be converted as a consultant at Deloitte, so I should mention consultant or an internship and the start.
So for the period that you were intern, mention intern, and then next period you mention consultant.
So two different this I need
Yeah,
to.
you will break it up into two, I would say. If you want to
Okay.
showcase intern, otherwise, I would say mention consultant also fine. But ideal thing is to break it up into two.
Okay. Thank you.
Shruti, you can go ahead.
I'm sorry, I have another question.
Go ahead.
So my next question would be regarding the importance given to courses, because I'm in computer science right now, and when it comes to our interviews, courses are not given that much of an importance. Rather, the skills and the projects
So
that
we'll
are
not
put
be
in.
asking you academics. We'll not be asking you about data structures or whatever courses you studied. We'll be asking you about what you mentioned in the application and things about that. So let's say you mentioned a project that you did. Then maybe we might ask you details of those project. But we won't go about and ask you, oh, you did computer science, tell me about this, tell me about that, tell me how this works. No, that's not how it works. It's purely based on your application and discussion on your application. But if you mention something, be prepared to answer those questions on those. Even if you mention I'm singing or mountaineering, then be prepared to answer questions on those.
Yeah, okay. My next question would be an extension to that.
Krishna,
So,
we'll take one question because we'll come back to you later. That others also ask. Yeah.
Shruti, you
And
can
raise your
go
hand
ahead.
again after you.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I'll be completing my 2 years on 5th of July 2025. So my doubt is that if I apply for YLP, I'm planning to apply in round 2. So unfortunately, or some reason I don't get into. So can I apply to PGP after my 2 years of work ex?
Yes, you can. Those are two different programs altogether. You can apply.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Niharika?
Hello, sir.
Hi.
So my doubt was that my degree got ended in year 2022, and I have a gap year. So I started working later on, and the end of the July, I'll have less than 2 years of experience. So will I be still
You can
eligible
apply.
for YLC?
You are eligible, yes.
So will a gap year or more than a gap year will be a bad thing for my resume?
See, there's no bad or good in that. How you justify it, how you explain it, that matters more. And we
Yeah.
all have gone through a pandemic, COVID, and a lot of people have gap years. So gap years are not something to be, we don't look at them as a bias. As long as you have a reason, it should be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
An immediate gap year may not look good if you are not working for last 6-7 months, but you're working now, so I'm sure you can justify the gap year.
Yeah, actually, my degree was around COVID only. Like it was
Yeah,
started in
so that's perfectly
2020,
fine.
so that's why.
You are eligible, you can apply, and you can justify your gap year. That should be okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure. Chirag, I think you had already asked a question, so if I'm not mistaken, right?
Good evening,
Yes.
sir.
Now go ahead.
Yeah, Arnav, you can go ahead.
The desirable scores for GMAT, GRE, and CAT to get into ISB.
See, as I mentioned, there are no desirable scores per se, but for GMAT, GRE, look at the YLP ranges is something I'll suggest. For CAT, again, my guess would be at least 93 percentile is what you might need if you have other parameters in line. If something really good, maybe 90 also could do. But of course, CAT is just my personal thing right now because there's no data around that as of now. And we follow a holistic process. So, but 93 is what I would think should work. And 90 and above if you have something really good in your profile.
So for CAT, for GRE and GMAT, sir?
GRE, 660 to 780 was the range for PGP-YLP, the erstwhile YLP. 655 is the median for the focus edition. GRE, anything about 317 to should be fine because that's a floor earlier. And 325 is what a lot of people get into, I can say.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your time.
I think you can compare all the three exams in terms of percentile, and I think the
Yes.
median percentile for ISB across all the programs, even for PGP, it's somewhere around the 95th percentile, I think. Right, Amit?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Manan, I think you have already asked a question, so we'll probably get back to you. In the interest of letting the others ask a question.
Fine, sure.
Sagnik, maybe you can go with your question.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you for your valuable time. So, one of my questions is regarding, sir, I'm a fresher and currently doing my 4th year of engineering right now. So, I have a question about my work experience. I did my 2 months of work experience in one of my institute which is paid. So, will that be considered as a work experience, and can I input it in my resume or that application form?
If it's a full time, it is after your graduation.
I'm
If it
graduating in
is,
2025.
then it's not
Next
work
year.
ex.
No.
No.
It's not. Okay. So, but can
Only
I
after your
input it as
undergrad.
only after your undergrad?
You can shoot as part-time internship or part-time something, but it's not full-time work experience.
Okay, so thank you so much for that.
Yeah. Raj, Nandini, you can go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good evening. So, sir, actually, I belong to the batch 2020 to 2023, like 2022. Sorry, August 20 to 23. So, so I left the college like the session got ended in April, May around, and I had one paper which was not a backlog, but it was a re-up. So we usually get 5 chances to clear a paper. So I didn't apply it at that time for a reappear because I was very much involved with the extracurriculars. I didn't get the proper time. So I was able to answer the paper in March 2024 and I got it clear. But the only problem is that I joined my job in August 2023.
So your work ex will be counted from April onwards.
So just because the provisional degree has been
It's not a
from
degree, it's the exam, last exam.
Yeah, so the last exam, so in my degree, provisional degree, they have mentioned that the degree was completed in April 2024.
Correct. That's correct. Yeah.
So accordingly, so because I have joined the job like from August 2023, so that won't be counted. Those months won't be counted.
That won't be counted. That won't be counted. And that you can show as part-time experience. That won't be counted as full-time. But anyways, this is a program for people with less than 2 years. So it shouldn't matter much, in my opinion.
Yes, sir, because I am still working with them, so it's like in a continuous flow only.
It won't be
That's
counted.
oh. So I should mention what should I mention if they ask for a starting date for the job?
April.
April.
And
All right.
before that, you should mention as part-time.
Okay, sure. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thanks. Sadhvi, you can ask your question.
Yeah. Hi, good evening. Am I
Good
audible to
evening.
you?
Good evening. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, sir, my graduation is going to be completed next year, 2025, and I am doing my undergrad in the specialization with a BBA tourism. And apart from this, I had done a few of my internship with the HR domain, like approx 10 months. So in the application, what I have to write about my course and the internship
You
experience.
write whatever degree you're getting or whatever you joined, whatever is written in your transcripts, and internship also you can mention that. There's no clash here.
Like
And BBA
some
tourism
of
is
them
perfectly fine.
but apart from this, in some of the internship, I don't have my certificate.
So do you have any pay slip, any offer letter, some
No, they
documentation
were
you write?
not paid, sir.
If you don't have any documentation, I would say avoid, right? At least especially internships, any documentation maybe in terms of a mail, making an offer, or in terms of completion of your internship is required because internships will need some documentation. If you don't have that, I'll suggest don't mention them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, can I go now?
Go ahead,
sure,
Manan.
Manan.
Yeah, just wanted to talk about placements for a bit. So because it's a newer program, so there is no kind of toggle on the website for play, or there are no things which make sense. But I mean, that is also something that worries me because we don't have any kind of data to back how good the placements are. I mean, obviously PGP is one of the best in the country, but in terms of the program, and so how would you address?
So, we have already, as I mentioned earlier, that we have spoken extensively to recruiters before we have launched this program. We have taken them on board with the program, and recruiters are not a relationship. With recruiters are not transactional. It's not that they come once a year, recruit students, and go back, and then don't come back if they don't have a need. We have ongoing interaction with them across various areas in terms of research, in terms of even in terms of curriculum design, in terms of various corporate activities that we have. So once we have decided to launch the program, we have got a buy-in from recruiters as well. And you'll see that all the traditional ISB recruiters have expressed a demand for people with this background. And that's why you are seeing this program. And you'll see that in the placements as well. All the top major recruiters of ISB will also look at this program. And this program also opens up avenues for other non-traditional recruiters who wanted to hire from us but could not because of the internship model. So a lot of finance companies like the iBank, sort of companies which had, like the Tata Administrative Services, like the others which hire from leadership program or internships, are also now on board in terms of looking at this particular program. And the placement team that we have is a professional placement team. It's not a student-run team. So the placement team works out of 4 offices and ensures that we have relationship with top organizations to come to recruit from ISB year on year. And the placements of this program will happen along with the PGP program. So simultaneously, the placements for PGP-YL internships, the placements of PGP-YL final placements, and the placements of PGP all will happen together, because when companies come to ISB, they come for at a single time and come for various roles. So they'll come for people with PGP-YL also. So that gives us a lot of, I'll say assurance, or I want to assure the candidates here that you not worry about the placements, because we have a stellar record in terms of placements across maybe consulting or marketing and finance, and now we'll only see more companies coming in there.
Got it. That really helps. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Krishna, you can ask your question.
Yeah, so I'm currently working in the computer science field, and I'm thinking to switch in something to something in finance. So in the meantime, if I do some courses or something related to that, how how would my resume look like when I apply to the program?
So, if you do some courses, think of how it will add to your narrative. So, if you're currently having, what I'll advise you is if you're working in a current area, let's say you're working with computers or in computer science or software development, what skill sets it has given you, what skill sets you need to acquire to go to a target domain, finance, right? And how will ISB bridge that gap? Get a clear understanding of these key three things because that will determine your entire application. That is actually your entire application. So give it a
Yeah.
thought, give it, a lot of collect a lot of evidences that this is what I have done, this is what I. So any certificate you do should eventually have that end goal that you have in mind. As long as you can convince the interviewers at ISB, I'm sure you will be able to do it for in the placements also. That should be lesser challenge in my opinion. But getting that clarity of thought now right, that's more important.
Yeah, got it. So does the company I work in or the salary I get matter?
No, no. What work you have done, what
Yeah.
kind of impact you have created, that's more important.
Okay, I
Because
noticed
otherwise,
that
we'll
they
only
ask.
have people working in top organizations or people who are working in very glamorous roles. But we have people from the government sector also where they're time on promotion. We have people from, niche areas. So what work you've done, what impact you've made, what skill sets you've built, and how well you're able to articulate them, that will matter more.
Yeah, got it. So, I noticed that they
That's
ask
why your
for.
essays and interviews are your difference makers. Your story is what matters.
How does a typical interview look like? So
So
what kind
typical
of a
ISB
questions?
interview is not a knowledge-based interview. It's not a GK-based interview. We're not going to ask you who is the president of Iran or what is happening in the Middle East or what do you think about the US elections. It's all about your aspirations and motivations and what you have mentioned in the application in terms of the skill sets. That will probe deeper. We'll go in depth into what you mentioned in the application. If you talk about a project you mentioned about a project that you've done, we'll want to know how you did it, what kind of soft skills were required, what kind of hard skills you used, what kind of skill sets you built. If you talk about your work, we'll talk about how well you know your work industry that you operate in, how well you know about your work, that how it impacts your larger organizations. So all those things are what we're looking at. It's totally going to be going to be a discussion on your aspirations, motivation, and skill sets that you bring to the table.
Okay, got it. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Thank you.
I think we answered all the questions.
I guess, yeah, we answered all the question. Unlike last time we managed to stretch a bit and then, but I think we have one more last hand
Okay, we'll
raised
take one
from
last question.
Shayanka. Yeah,
In the
this will
interest
be
of time,
probably
we
the
won't
last
take
question.
any more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shayanka. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Amit. I just
Hi.
have one question. Okay, so I'll be completing 2 years of experience in August 1st. So, for someone who would almost be completing 2 years by June 15th, would you be suggesting them to go for the PGP program or the YL program? Because one
No.
thing is that
Yeah.
uh,
I would.
because
I would
go
not
ahead.
suggest one over the other, but you're very well eligible for PGPYL, and I think that's something you should look at.
Okay, because the thing is, for PGP program, once you enter that, the cohort is very different compared to the YL program. So
You're not seeing the
will
wild cohort yet. so cohort of wild will be, in terms of diversity, in terms of people from different backgrounds, will be much similar to PGP, and will anyways be on the same campus as PGP. You'll be learning from them
okay,
as well, right?
okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure. Thank you, everyone, and especially the people who stuck it till the end. And thank you, obviously, thank you, Amit, for giving us your valuable time. And we hope we got to answer everyone's question. And again, you will be receiving a message with a special offer that we have on our mentorship programs. And we are looking forward to working with you, with a lot of you, so that you can apply to ISB and probably pursue your dream MBA. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Amit. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks a
Manas.
lot
Thank
for
you
your time.
for having me on this platform, and thank you all the students for being part of this session. I hope I was able to answer your questions today and wish you all the very best.
Yeah, wish you all the very best.